Hello everybody, how's it going today? Hey, how goes everybody's Monday? Mine's... yeah, it's a Monday. Not much else needs to be said, I think. Anyways, hope everybody had a good weekend. Mine was pretty good. I did a bunch of mount farming over the weekend. Didn't get a single thing. But hey, that's what the bad luck protection is for, and then the form of 99 totems, right? Anyways. I'm feeling a hell of a lot better than I did last Thursday. I actually got some sleep. Actually started eating. Actually started being an adult. So that's always good. But when I left off on Thursday, knocked out all the role quests, and then one remains for today, which we're going to start off with, and then we go back to the MSQ grind. Which, if I remember, the pausing point of MSQ was that there was fighting going on outside, but we're just casually ignoring it because we got Sin Eaters to hunt down, like Cardinal Virtues specifically. So let's say we turn this off and get to it. It's been a minute. I'm gonna make sure everything's good. Yep. All right. To New Game Plus. I'm gonna hold off on doing this until probably the end of part 3 of New Game Plus, just in case. But as for the role master quests, the Cardinal Virtues are no more, for you and the bounty hunters of the Wandering Stairs have successfully laid them to rest. After imploring you to share the details of your adventures, Galinard proposes calling together the patrons and celebrating your grand accomplishments. However, the libations will have to wait, for Ciela would reward your labors with a singular tale, that of the true villain responsible for so much of the realm's misery, who yet lingers in this world. That was a jump. Shadow, walk with me. The great hunter himself. What? As if you don't know. All 4 of the Cardinal Virtues laid low, all with your help. You're the talk of the stairs, Linkus. With the night return to Lakeland, we knew in our hearts that change was on the horizon, but never did I dare hope that you might help rid us of those terrible fiends. You surpassed my wildest expectations. Nah, just did my thing. Not mine, Glenard. When I first laid eyes on him, I had an inkling that he was the hero we'd been waiting to come along. Ha! Easy to claim after the fact. If you'd indulge me, though, I would love to hear you tell how it all played out. The hunting of the Virtues, that is. Well, they just went around, did like the combined 8 hours of quests, and killed them. Oh, whoa, there's so much more to it than I realized. And there I thought you'd only had to track down the bloody things. Gods, though, the things you learn about the warriors of late. So many secrets and details lost over time. And for all their hard work and sacrifice, they somehow brought about the flood. Guess I understand it all, but it It's a bloody tragedy, it is. We should gather the others and toast their memories. Heroes of Eld, brave and true, to be remembered forevermore. Now, I'll thank you not to let your bleeding heart drive you to offer up a fortnight's stock of spirit. Attend to your other customers, and let me speak with a hero of here and now. Whatever would I do without your good sense and wisdom? Very well, I'll leave you to entertain him, but don't think we won't be having that drink someday. Magus, I must repay you for sharing with us such incredible tales. 'Tis only right that I repay you in kind. By how? With the ending, that is. With the story of the true villain who towers above the virtues, the devil more deserving of death than any that lingers in this world. If your curiosity has been piqued, then meet with me atop the balcony overlooking the crystalline mean. I will be waiting there until you do. Go to the Amara lunch. Is this flirting? Alrighty, Sayella, what's your story? You came, as I knew you would. Never met a mystery you could leave well enough alone, or a demon that you could let live. Am I right? This demon is undeniably deserving of death. Make no mistake. To cut them down would be just and proper. The act of a goodly person. That is just what you are. I could see that. No need to grow impatient or be offended, my friend. Before you pass judgment on this villain, you need first understand their part in everything. Who they were to the fallen warriors of light, for instance. Of course, right about now you must be wondering how I know what I know. What a tavern wench of all people has got to do with any of this. Let me tell you then. I am the one who brought together the Virtue Hunters. I am the one who marked you as a potential ally to them and bade you join them in their quests. I alone knew what had to be done, and what sort of sinner would be needed to see this tale of tragedy and betrayal brought to an end. But come, we have many moms ahead of us still. To Calusia and the Codger's Crook. I will go on ahead and wait for you there. Every single time you want to go to a place that looks actually somewhat decent, why is it always foggy? You're accustomed to life on the road, I see. As am I. Do you recognize this place? I thought you might. Here is where it began, where Oddbert first met Lamet. Still young and lacking experience, but possessed of so much potential. Heroes in the making. Even then the keen-eyed could see. They would only fulfill that promise much later, though, joining with their other dear companions, Brandon and Renda Ray. And one other, an elven woman, not half bad with the sword. But perhaps you're already asking a question. Who? There were 5 warriors of light in all. She would make 6. Indeed, after adding in Albert, there does seem to be one too many. But believe me when I say there was indeed a 6th adventurer lost to history. And her name was Cliva. Or Silva, I should say. Probably be better to say. Though I doubt I need convince you of this truth. When you walked into Virtue's memories, you saw her time and time again, did you not? I did. Then you saw the true villain, the traitor responsible for all their woes. Let us continue the story elsewhere, to Amarang in the fields of Amber. Are we hitting up? All the air quotes important bits of all the role quests. This would be Nilebert and I already forget his name, damn it. Saw the true villain's face in their memories, and I told you her name and Calusia. But what were her crimes, you ask? Hearken to my tale, and you will learn. Silva had joined the others before they first met Nalbert. After the party of 5 came to this place, they took on a commission to slay a powerful beast that had taken up residence in the mines. Said beast was believed to be the instigator of ever more terrible tremors, and so time was of the essence. But during their hurried search, they crossed paths with their future companion, then a competitor aiming to usurp their prize. Another long tremor triggered by the beast trapped them all underground. After another tremor triggered by the beast trapped them all underground, they had no choice but to work together to lay it low. But to their dismay, even after its death, the earth continued to shudder violently. As the adventurers looked to each other in confusion, Nilebert strode towards the beast's body and grabbed hold of a curious stone. A stone glimmering with untold aether that he had sought out that he might harness its potential to rescue a loved one lost to the rift. But so powerful was the stone that it warped the flow of the life stream. Its very existence was a threat. And so, when faced with the choice between one life and countless others, Nalbert wept and shattered the stone. He had held his comrade's salvation in his hand and cast it aside for the greater good. For his sacrifice he was judged a hero, and in that instant, a warrior of light was born. In life, Nalbert was a pragmatic figure whose wisdom and sagacity were admired by all. No wonder that in death he would retain his virtue. But as Nalbert mourned the friend he forever lost, the betrayer Silva looked on in silent contentment, for they had taken the first step on their path towards becoming heroes, brave and true. His sacrifice had sparked the transformation, which was fuel for the ritual to come. What ritual, you may wonder? Fear not, all will become clear in time. Come with me to Raktika, to the Satia swamps. We must retrace the steps as they were taken to understand the depth of her treachery. Did I low-key do all these in a air quotes correct order? Why do you bring me to the place of Lahi, Sayela? This place is too as familiar to you, know? From days recent and long since past. After the events in Amarang, Ardbert and his comrades grew in fame, spurring others to entreat their aid. The adventurers sought out greater and greater challenges, and in pursuit of another, they came to Raktika. While here, the hunter Renda Ray learned that the notorious monk Balam Quits was near, and so, under cover of darkness, she slipped away from the others to slay the beast by herself. Like Nalbert before, of course, you already know what her motive was. Balam Quits had robbed her of her fellow hunters. Only vengeance would redress the balance. Moreover, she would not dare risk the lives of her new comrades, so terrified was she of the mere possibility that she might have to relive that terrible day. And so she faced Balam Quits alone, and would have surely died for it, had Ardbert and the others not arrived in time to help. Like Nalbert before, of course, you already know what happened next. For her love, her conviction, and her resolve was she chosen by Hydaelyn. And from that day forward, Renda Ray swore never again to betray her comrades' trust, to share with them the triumphs and the tragedies, to relinquish the freedom she had once held in the highest. The bravest, most courageous hunter that ever was, that moment would define what she became in life and in death. Her sacrifice would hasten the transformation, which was fuel for the ritual to come. The betrayer Silva looked on, yet more satisfied. They were oblivious to her machinations, unaware that they were dancing to her tune. Their journeys continued, and so must ours, to Ilmeg and Liagia. Pretty much right in the middle. Off to the frickin' fairy kingdom. Although the castle is slightly less haunted, I will argue that. As beautiful now as it was then. You saw it too. Would you not agree? With the death of Balam Quits, the legend of Ardbert and his comrades had grown larger than ever. Thus emboldened, they came to the kingdom of Verbert. Verbert had long been troubled by what some had dubbed a magical plague, innocents found transformed into misshapen fiends that the kingdom's knight had no choice but to put down ere the contagion spread. Brandon had been one such knight. In his youth he had served the princess, Saldia, faithfully, only to be cast out for a single mistake. Thus did he take to the road, where he met Ardbert and the others. Having grown stronger and wiser, and more respected, Brandon felt it was time to return and redeem himself. With the aid of his comrades, he did just that. Tadric, the court mage, was unmasked as the mastermind of Verbert's misery, and by the disgraced knight's blade was he brought to justice. But with his dying breath, Tadric cursed the Princess Saldia, sentencing her to a fate worse than death. At her behest did he rise up his blade, and for the sake of the kingdom, strike down his liege lady. At that single stroke he forever changed, though nearly not in the way that was necessary. He stood at the precipice, and almost forsook his compassion for unflinching judgment, but mercifully turned aside at the last. Thus did he find and embrace true justice, that which weighs law and heart together, and strives for the greater good. 'Tis a long, difficult road from which many stray, settling for simpler moralities, but I would expect no less of the man who became Dicaiosine. His sacrifice would strengthen the transformation, which was fuel for the ritual to come. As her companions grew ever more powerful, so did the betrayer Silva. Bit by bit, they brought her closer to her goal. But it was not yet finished. To Calusia they returned, and so must we. Tomra in the next chapter of our tale await. Oh yeah, I had a thought. I failed to do it for the last event, but for this event, the Final Fantasy 15 event going on, I may do it since we have the option to replay it, thankfully. I may do it. I don't know what day I would, but hopefully it doesn't interfere with New Game Plus. That's something I'll have to test off stream. I don't think it will, since it's technically not New Game Plus, but since I think it was a pretty damn neat event that they managed to pull off. And one day I'll play Final Fantasy 15 proper and see what the Final Fantasy 14 event is over there. I know it involves a cat girl. That's about it. Slowly but surely, the adventurers were fulfilling their potential. Word of their deeds and fervor spread like wildfire, and their legend grew ever larger. But for all their success, the fledgling heroes would be forced to endure more hardship and welcome more sacrifice. They pressed deeper into the depths of Raktika, towards ancient Ronka. 'Twas there that a dwarf Lamet came to a crossroads, for in claiming the magic she desperately desired, she would be forced to renounce something equally precious. Dwarves are a reclusive lot, wont to withdraw from the outside world, that their many traditions might be preserved in isolation. When the stone blight began to spread, they chose to lock away the afflicted and refused to seek outside help. Dumb on their part. But Lamet would not abide this. She vowed to save her alien kin, her sister among them, even if it meant violating Dwarven law. With her newfound power, she returned and cured the sick, and for this she was banished by the Council of Elders. This came as no surprise, for she had made her peace with it long before. When she stood in that ancient ruin and called upon forgotten guardians to grant her forbidden knowledge, she knew then what the price would be. She had weighed her traditions and identity against the lives of those she loved and made her choice, though it pained her terribly in ways only a dwarf could understand. And Hydaelyn, it would seem. Through hardship and sacrifice was a new warrior of light forged, a healer that knew more than any the value of a life, and would do anything to see it preserved, even in death. Her sacrifice would nearly complete the transformation, which was fuel for the ritual to come. Very soon then. Very soon. For Ardbert and his comrades had stumbled upon evidence of the larger design, threads linking together the disparate troubles of the realm. A name spoken only in whispers, the Shadowkeeper, a singular force sowing chaos and discord throughout Norvrent to an unknown end. If the Warriors of Light truly wished to save their world, they would need to confront this villain amongst villains. And at the end of their exhaustive search, at the end of their struggle, who do you think they found waiting to welcome them with open arms? The answer to that awaits us in Lakeland, our final destination. The villain yet walks among us, Linkus, unknown and unpunished. Go on ahead and wait for me at Laxenloft. There are preparations to which I must first attend. What possibly could you be up to, Silva? Or Ciela? Sorry. Damn you, Silva! We were comrades in arms! Friends! That we were, and that we are. Everything I said, everything I felt. It was all true. You mean the world to me. You're the bloody Shadowkeeper! What in the hells was this for? For you. For every one of you, to forge you and the heroes worthy of her blessing, that she might choose you as her champions. A ruthless mage consumed by the pursuit of power to save his friend, no matter the cost. By his sacrifice, a warrior born. A mournful hunter scarred by tragedy, resolved never again to trust in others. By her sacrifice, a warrior born. A disgraced knight who yearned to steal his heart in justice's name. By his sacrifice, a warrior born. A troubled healer, torn between tradition and love. By her sacrifice, a warrior born. And their leader, the adventurer with a heart overflowing with love for his dearest comrades, who must now bring his axe to bear against his own. By his sacrifice, a warrior born. I am the villain you seek, the keeper of shadows from a world shrouded in dark. By our struggle will this world be shattered and its souls saved. I can't yell, sorry. Saw it all, did you? I thought you might. Mother's gift has a knack for showing us exactly what we need to see, if not what we want to, or when. Are you a warrior of light too? They knew me as Silva, but my real name, it doesn't matter. Like you, I am not of this world. I crossed the rift and came to the first. My home, the 13th, fell to dark in a calamity that mirrored the one which nearly claimed this world. I was one of several heroes who failed to save it. The boy, Inukalahai, I think that's how you say his name, I have glimpsed him in your memories. He was a friend. Like him, I heeded the words of the Asians, and that I might adjust the balance, I chose to come here and hasten the rejoining of worlds. Probably should have done the Warring Triad quest before this. Oh well. A shard subsumed by dark demands a mirror of blinding light. Primordial forces will strive to achieve equilibrium. But there was a solution. A single solution, I believed. Were a flood of light to consume this shard in its entirety, it would be of no use. The Asians made it clear it must be brought to the brink, but no further. The task was difficult, but the plan simple. Souls predisposed to light, fledgling heroes in the making. I would bring together Ardbert and his comrades, and groom them for a higher purpose. I would play the part of comrade and guide their course, all the while laboring in secret to pit stronger and stronger enemies against them, until finally, once they were warriors of light, brave and true, I would reveal myself as a warrior of darkness and extinguish their radiance forever. Thus would this world be primed for a rejoining, and a source for a calamity. The Asians who called themselves Mitron and Logrif were confident it would succeed. And indeed, Ardbert and the others rose to the occasion, as I knew they would. It was not to be. I had misjudged Ardbert. His comrades before him had made their sacrifices in turn, and as their mirror, I had grown stronger for it. Had he but embraced his role and struck me down, victory would have been mine. But Ardbert, dear Ardbert, would not forsake his heart. In the end, he chose mercy. He chose love, and I was undone. The rest you know. He sought out Mitron and Logrif and granted them what he refused me. They accomplished everything they set out to achieve, and then the flood came and washed it away. In the wake of my betrayal, I would look on from the shadows and reflect on my many sins as all fell to ruin. Denied death, then and now, perhaps ever after, as a fragment of my essence endures. Then, one day years ago, my fallen comrades rose again as the cardinal virtues. It coincided with the arrival of the first scions, I later realized. The fence against the forces being marshaled to undo my failure. I couldn't but assume the Asians planted the idea in Valtry's head. They were his creations after all, and with their graves in Yulmon territory, it was doubtless a simple matter to have their bodies exhumed and prepared. Who am I to speak, you may think when I say this, but when I saw these abominations he had wrought in their image. I was filled with such despair, such anger. I cannot unwrite the past. My soul is stained with blackest sin, and I will not pretend that it can ever be otherwise. But this act, this I could not ignore. If the Ascians were going to such lengths, then surely others would cross the rift in due time. So I hatched a plan. I would assume the guise of Saela, and as her take up residence in the Crystarium, where I would take measures to bring together the most ambitious of adventurers, individuals driven by more than mere coin, virtue hunters. That way, when the enemy the Ascians feared more than any came to the first, the stage would be set. They would join in the hunter's quest, and together unmake all three simulacra, and lay their souls to rest once more. And so you did, Linkus. The virtues are no more, but the one ultimately responsible for their creation, the devil who set them on their doomed path, lingers still. You know all there is to know of the heroes who saved this world. The truth I kept hidden in the shadows is yours, and there are no more secrets to share. And so I ask you now to grant me that which Ardbert could not, death. When you look at me that way, you remind me of Ardbert. He never did let me take the easy way out. I'm guessing suicide is out of the question too. How could you stand there and say I deserve to live? Knowing everything I did, the lies I destroyed, the chaos I wrought, the Warden's pale in comparison. Surely there is no greater villain than the Shadowkeeper. Why not just atone for what you did? Should have expected a hero would say something like that. How does one even seek atonement? 'Tis an undiscovered country with no charts or stars to guide. How will I even know where to find it? Perhaps I may yet find purpose in preserving my comrade's legacy, and helping others to understand the sacrifices that made them true heroes. For now, I shall return to the Crystarium and continue to assist Glenard, while spreading the forgotten tales of the Warriors of Light. You might have been good friends, you and Ardbert, in another life. Maybe you and I as well. I gotta kill her for something she did over 100 years ago. It happened 100 years ago. What does death do for you now? Absolutely nothing. Seeing the consequences of your actions over 100 years? That's punishment enough. Living with the guilt for 100 years? Punishment enough. I'm curious, can you see the Aetherite from out here? It's even let you. No, it doesn't. That's a kid's name, Tanner. I tell you, I am not at all accustomed to wearing armor any longer. Simply moving about in it is enough to tax my strength. And fighting? Hey, one of Captain Lena's recruits will probably put me flat on my back. Fortunately, I needn't rely on my sword to spread the truth of my fallen comrades' deeds. Only words and the passage of time will see their legacy redeemed in the eyes of the people. Thank you for accompanying me on my journey of remembrance, Linkus. May your deeds ever be remembered and celebrated, as all heroes deserve. Oh, there's one more. I thought that was it. If it isn't Linkus loitering about the stairs, just like any old evening. And here I was, worried that you'd gone back to your world for good, and I was too late. It's just that I've been thinking about the crystals belonging to the Warriors of Light. I hear they ended up with you after you lot defeated the Virtues. I assume you have Oddbits as well. Maybe you should have waited until after part 2 to do this. I absolutely should have. Alright. We are not going to do this. Whoops. I don't want to do that. You mean unable. We're just going to suspend it. There we go. Yeah, it jumps from 5.0 to 5.3 real quick. Alright, so I'm going to do, whenever I get around to doing that, I'm going to do that off stream. And then we go back to doing it. In the meantime, part 2 of Shadowbringers. Awkward. Though the Warriors of Darkness have succeeded in restoring the light to the Raktika Greatwood, much of Norvrant yet remains shrouded in primordial light, its denizens at the mercy of the abominations known as Sin Eaters. Burdened by the unsettling truths revealed to them by the Assi and Evet Silk, the heroes forge on along their chosen path, the path of villainy. Sudden drastic music change. By the way, I forgot to do a thing. Well, that's a hell of a banner. So when we last left off, we woke up, saw the sounds of heard the sounds of battle outside. I suspected that you might be awake. I could scarce imagine you sleeping through such commotion. An entire host of Sin Eaters appears to be advancing upon the Crystarium. Emergency measures are being taken as we speak. Rest assured, however, that we are safe so long as we remain under the Crystal Tower's aegis. You may return to your quarters if you wish. No, I'm going out there. Yes, I thought you might feel that way, and I cannot say that your assistance will be anything less than welcome. I must remain here to disseminate information to the other residents, but you are under no such obligation, and are free to aid any of the townsfolk who may be in distress. The Exerta tends to become a point of congregation in times of need, crowded with those seeking solace and companionship. You would have my personal gratitude if you could offer succor to those there. Out in the open? Why not take shelter, like under here? I mean, doesn't look like there's a gate to keep them from coming in, but... Few townsfolk are about, and you spy none who appear to be in distress. Lakers! Oh my god, I forget how to say her voice. I've only just returned from Amarang, yet I find the Casteria moments from being beset by sin eaters. Where are they coming from? This shouldn't be possible. We restored the darkness. Well, this is a fortunate coincidence. Brother, tell me you have some idea why this is happening. I may, but for the moment we need to postpone such discussions in favor of action. The Crystal Exarch is preparing to deploy a barrier around the Crystarium as we speak. Ensuring that he is able to do so should be our first concern. There are a number of instruments placed about the Crystarium that function as anchors for the barrier. I'm on my way to activate them now. In which case, 3 pairs of hands would be better than 1. Very well. I'll take the ones to the south. I shall deal with the northern apparatus then. Will you handle the western too? They're in second on platforms extending above the upper level of the Aetherat Plaza. Ensconsit? How do you say this? One sec.
Ensconce.
Ensconced. They're ensconced on platforms. Okay. It's been so long since I've heard their voices, I completely forget about them. No wonder the Sin Eaters are starting to attack. Daylight's coming. I never got that. Despite having very little idea as to how it functions, it appears that you have activated the device successfully. Woo! Sometimes you just roll a nat 20 on the intelligence check. Or would that be technically use magic device?
Sin-Eater sighted! They're coming!
to test the barrier.
Excellent. The barrier is holding.
That's good news for the Crystarian, but what of the rest of Lakeland?
Lena and the City Guard have taken to the field. Thancred and the others have already joined them. Let us do the same.
Let's go bully some Sin Eaters. We ought to join the vanguard as soon as possible. If the number of Eaters we just saw is any indication, we'll be facing a formidable host. What lovely weather. Just what we needed. Seems the battle has already begun in earnest. Make haste! Crystarian forces are engaging the Sin Eaters at various locations across Lakeland. Assist them and kill the Sin Eaters. Sink the 409. I hear shouting. Come on!
Let's give it our all!
They need our help!
Help is at hand.
Where are we going? Don't have my second charge of dash yet. More Eaters. Don't let your guard down. Should probably turn this on. Would you believe I'm like 3/4 of the way dead? Those Eaters. They're moving towards Rediska's round. We should follow, but we cannot neglect those in need of our aid.
Leave the healing to me.
He gives him one heal and then bolts. I guess to make sure he doesn't drop dead. If it's this bad elsewhere, I shudder to think what it's like elsewhere. Timely arrival, Linkus. I have my hands full here. Mine own magic shall suffice to aid your stolen. I bid thee offer other succor to the god. guess you got her. I got these idiots. The ether swells. I would hate to find out what it tends to do next. Defend me. Let none interrupt my incantation. Draw these lesser eaters within the perimeter.
You will rue the day you cross my path. There was nothing.
Most impressive trick indeed. As if you've none of your own. Let's make for the imperative, shall we? Someone hath make short work of these eaters. Lakers, you'll be glad to know that the locals have all taken shelter. Nevertheless, we cannot allow the eaters to gain any ground. With me! I can't be good. God damn it all, we're too late! I'll follow the eater. You press on to the imperative. I'm staying with you. You've lost too many already. We must hurry. These eaters are too organized. They cannot merely be acting on instinct. You think? It is as we feared. But our task is as it ever was. Turn the tide! The lives of the wounded are on our hands. Okay.
On your feet!
And they won't stop coming, and they won't stop coming, and they won't stop coming. Oh boy. I was memeing. I didn't mean it. Have care, that is no ordinary eater. course, tank buster. More ethers. They're protecting it somehow. We shall have to deal with them first. Feel a swell of ether. Gather around me quickly.
Theory and practice.
And yet more still come. Lakis, buy me some time. Alphanet, I need ether.
If naught else will suffice. My strength is yours.
May the 12 guide you.
The stars shall grant.
Let's give them a show. We crack and steal.
Oh, poor Abyssal Dream timing.
There are so many. Ah, God damn it! Leader! Yeah! Lena, hold on. They turned on me.
This one is mine! We need only hold out a little while longer. Reinforcements are coming, remember? The captain said so. We're going to be all right. Warrior of Darkness has returned. The Bloody Knight has returned. So stay with me, eh? You can't go dying now.
God damn it!
Please let this work. Please let this work. No. No, no. Stay back. Stay back.
Help! Help! Anyone!
Why did you spare me? Why? What have I done to deserve this mercy?
Forward! Forward! If you can still hold a sword, follow me! Wounded to the rear! Weapons at the ready! Let's make this count!
Fight and struggle. Seek salvation by your own hands. Though the losses be grave, endure them. Though the victories be hollow, claim them.
Well, we won. Seems we've driven them back, for the time being at least. The wounded have been collected and undergoing treatment now. Once they're ready to be moved, we'll have them carried back to the Casteria. The dead as well, of course. Those whose bodies remain anyway. I think it'll be a good time to take the first break for the day, get up, refill the water, stretch the legs, all that good stuff. If you're out there watching, I implore you all to do the same, and I will be right back. Alright folks, we back. That was a little bit longer than usual. Cat wanted attention, so I gave him some. Well, we won the battle. One hell of a cost, but we won. To the victor goes the spoils, huh? The others are helping you treat the wounded. I'm planning to assist in moving them, but even so, we simply don't have enough hands. I'm sure you're fit to fall over what after we've been through. Gods know I am. But if you could see to a few of the patients, it would be an enormous help. Captain Lena is about somewhere, and so you might also consider asking her if there are any other outstanding areas of need. We'll talk later. With tear-filled eyes, the prone man gazes up at you. His fingers twitch as if to reach for you, but he lacks the strength to raise his hand. Dying guard became dead guard. You okay, buddy? Don't touch me! I killed her. I killed her! She was one of them, I know, but I... The hell's the third person? Oh, I'm blind. Thank you, but it's too late. One of them, it got me. If I turn, please, please, kill me. I beg you.
Oh, I did not see you there. Is there something you need?
I'm fine, but how are you?
Injuries are part and parcel of battle. While there's breath in my lungs, I shall see my duties done. Don't pretend you're not of the same mind. You fought well today. Saved a great many lives. Thank you. Unfortunately, this war is far from over. We must replenish our ranks and shore up our defenses before they attack again. Now, if you will excuse me. I am fine. Completely and utterly fine. Better than fine. Hale and hearty and still alive to mourn those who are not. Who I failed to protect when they needed me most. We've come so far, so goddamn far. I could have sworn the end was in sight, and now... Now they will never see it.
Impudent worms of the Crystarium. The tragedy that has befallen you is of your own making. Divine retribution for your defiance. The heavens have bequeathed to you a benevolent savior, me. I offer you freedom from pain and suffering, a paradise where man and sea-eater might live in peace and harmony. Why, already, our winged brothers and sisters regard me and mine as kin, alike to them in beauty and purity. But you not only reject my prophet hand, but raise your own against my sin-eaters. But it's only right that they respond in kind. Let this be a lesson to all those who would walk the path of sin. The wicked shall not inherit this world!
If you didn't hate Fall Through before, you do now. Fall Through's ship is already gone. How flattering that he came all this way just to give his little speech. I apologize for my earlier outburst. Rest assured that I have no intention of allowing any of my wounds to affect the performance of my duties, especially not now. If I may, could I ask that you seek out Thancred and Midfilia for me? They endangered themselves on my behalf, and I would feel better knowing that they are well looked after. Thancred in particular sustained quite an injury from that sin-eater. I would not be surprised if he were in Spagreeks still. Please give them my thanks. Well, you kinda got ran over, so you're DB. That is one sin-eater that won't die. I've tried. You're here for me. Sorry to put you to the trouble. I'm fine, really. The last person that told me they were fine collapsed, so... the Eater landed an unfortunately solid blow, but the healers here have done wonders. I'm worried about Midfilia. She's not taking it well. Could I ask you speak with her? My attempts to reach out seem to have had the opposite effect. She's gone off to the Hotorium, ostensibly to fetch herbs for Chesamil, but just talk to her, will you? Anchored, one day you're gonna have to step up. Philly appears to be lost in thought. Perhaps a gentle poke would get her attention. Excuse me, Minfilia. Yeah, right? Oh, Angus, what are you doing here? Thancred sent me to come after you. Thancred? It's my fault, you know. I jumped at the chance to help Lena, but I was careless. And now, it's my fault. Well, if it's your fault, then you'll be wanting to get those herbs for the healers, yeah? What have I done? I promised I'd be right back, and yet here I am. I know that I need to be better. I'm only allowed to be part of this because I'm Midfilia, and I need to be more like her. All I do is make mistakes, put others in danger. But you're right. I could still help, if only by seeing this herb safely to Chesamil. There are only 2 left on the list, but I'll need to ask about this one. I've looked high and low, and I can't seem to find it anywhere. Would you mind collecting the other? I would hate to delay any longer than I already have. You're looking for something with soft leaves that's very fragrant, an unmistakably medicinal way, I was told. We need only 2 sprigs or so. Once you've got them, you can bring them directly to Chesamil. Whoever gets there first can explain the other. We'll be back shortly. Thank you. I appreciate the help. Something that smells medicinally, huh? That was quick. Alright. Wasn't much of a search. And Philly told me that you would be bringing the rest. Marvelous. With this, I can replenish our store of medicines. We're struggling to keep up with the number of wounded that are being brought in. I wasn't on the field, but it doesn't matter. The patients' faces make plain that it was a horrible battle. And we're still fighting it, I suppose, though with better medicine rather than sharp steel. But we'll win, I promise you that. Good. It seems that I owe you an apology for dragging you yet another battlefield when you've just come off the front lines. In both cases, I'm sure your efforts saved more than a few. With Spagrix and good working order, the Crystarium's people will be well cared for. More lie ahead, of course. Battles only you can fight. Not that we intend to let you do it alone. And that's a matter to discuss with the Exarch. You know the Exarch? We do. Is this something you needed? Need you to tell him something. For me. My dearest friend, you see. He was there on the battlefield with me, but only the one of us is here to speak of it. At the end, before the wounded killed him, I heard his dying words. I never knew that our world was this beautiful, he told me. I'm so glad that I got to see the night sky. I don't know how the Exarch feels about what happened out there. I don't know if what Valtteri said is true. If our losses were just deserts. And we doom ourselves the worse by continuing to fight this fight. But I believe in the Warrior of Darkness, in the Crystal Exarch. I don't think what they've done is wrong, and I don't think we're wrong to fight with them either. My friend, he smiled in the end, just as he smiled when he raised his glass to celebrate the return of the night. That's how I want to remember him. So I want to tell the Exarch, don't give up. Don't give in. Please. Well, tell him. You have my word. Smile better suits a hero. If you're ready, why not go on ahead to the Ocular? You can keep the Exarch company while I fetch Alphino. Don't worry, I mean to borrow the swiftest Amaro I can find, so he shouldn't keep you long. Sure to pass on that message, eh? Right, Alphino is still... Oh, he's probably all the way back at that camp, healing people. Ian, please. Welcome, my friend. Tales of your heroism on the battlefield precede you, though I confess I found them more gladdening than surprising. I hear no few of our people have you to thank for plucking them from the jaws of death. Whether they had not needed saving to begin with, but the responsibility for that lies with me. Guy passed on a message, don't give up, don't give in. One of our soldiers said that. Thank you. Rest assured that I fully intend to continue our work. I will not shrink from what must needs be done, now least of all. Though I mourn the lost, I will not lose myself to grief. Even should regret be my constant companion, I will follow the path I have chosen to its end. As will I. Of that I have no doubt. And if ever we should appear to falter, it will only be because we are fatigued after a battle well fought. I thank you for your kind words. Now we have plans to make, do we not?
My friends, with your aid, we have weathered a brutal assault.
The hell are you doing here?
Sorry I'm late, though I would not have been had anyone thought to notify me in advance.
As I was saying, it was only with your aid that we weathered this assault. Without it, the Crystarium and all who dwell here would now be gone.
For each we saved, another perished. If there is anything else we can do to help, anything at all, you need only ask. This is our home too, and we want nothing more than to keep it safe.
Thank you. We are blessed to have you with us. As for the attack itself, Vorthri may call it divine retribution, but Sin Eaters are creatures of instinct. A coordinated assault is unprecedented. Moreover, in the absence of a Light Warden, there should have been no compulsion for lesser Sin Eaters to congregate here en masse. All of which points to a single, unavoidable conclusion.
That these minions of light answer to a higher power. He who did claim kinship with them, who did boast of control, not in idleness, 'twould seem, but in earnest. Lord Vorthri.
Indeed. What I mistook for bluster was in fact the truth. The Sin Eaters are his to command. But if he imagines this show of force will convince us to bend the knee, he is sorely mistaken.
I take it your meeting in Yulmore did not end well.
You could say that, yes. But I am wiser for the experience nevertheless. It appears he has mastered a technique which allows him to enslave the minds of others. A fact I discovered when he attempted to use it on me.
That would go some way towards explaining the peculiar reverence afforded him by his subjects. There may feasibly be a handful of true believers among them, I suppose, but it would not surprise me if the vast majority were in his thrall.
Had I not anticipated his treachery, I might well have joined them. But seeing his invitation for what it was, I sent a glamour in my stead. I rather doubt such tricks will avail me a second time, however.
Did you have any luck tracking down the Light Warden in Calusia?
Sadly, I have nothing to report on that front. What of Armorang?
After a fruitless few days scouring ruins, I resorted to asking the locals. While no one I spoke to had seen any sign of the Warden, I did uncover a possible lead. An abandoned mine in western Armorang. From what the Maud told me, it would be a perfect place to stay out of sight. Of course, I could never hope to explore such a labyrinth quickly or safely on my own, so I returned here.
Even should we all join in the endeavor, an exhaustive search could take weeks, and with no guarantee of finding anything.
The Wardens harbor vast reservoirs of primordial light, do they not? Far beyond anything found in lesser Sin Eaters. And isn't it true that the Oracle could see the light of a Sin Eater from miles away? Surely a Warden would seem like a blazing beacon by comparison. To the real Oracle of Light, I mean. The real Menphilia.
You mean to call upon her?
If we travel to Armorang, to the south where she halted the flood, I could summon her back. What do you think?
Don't.
Don't what? Do what I can. What we both know is right.
Do not presume to know my mind. You have no idea what you're proposing.
But I do. I know why you never said anything. Because you thought you could keep me safe by keeping me in the dark. And maybe I thought so too. But I knew, Thancred. I always knew.
Oh, I see. I thought you were a rather underwhelming reincarnation, but it all makes sense now. The Oracle lies dormant within you, doesn't she? But to draw on her true power, you must become one, both body and soul. To wit, one being must consume the other. Who shall be the lucky winner?
This doesn't concern you, Ascian.
But it plainly concerns you. Which is why your heart is ready to burst out of your chest. Despite the raging tempest in your bosom, however, you have never once opened up to your young charge. Now, why would that be? Love. Well, I for one think it's a marvelous idea. Certainly more promising than any of your other suggestions. So, it's off to Armorang we go.
I'll meet you at the gates.
Way to make an awkward situation even more awkward, Emmett. If this is a course you have agreed upon, I will not object, though I am afraid it will be difficult for us to spare any length of the guard to accompany you. I can but promise that you will be well looked after upon your return. Just see to it that you do return, alright? If I had only been able to locate Calusia's Light Warden, it might not have come to this. I can't imagine what Thancred must be feeling to behave this way. To say he's changed since coming here would be an understatement. He may as well be a different person. He reminds me of... father. He argued with us for months about our plan to go to Eorzea, but in the end he accepted our decision. I do hope he's doing well. Minfilia demonstrated impressive resolve just now. It seems that she understands what must be done, though I do wonder if she truly is prepared to make the choice. Should she falter, it will fall to Thancred to guide her, however much he wishes it were otherwise. Though Thancred hath long known whither this path doth lead, his journey hath brought him no closer to acceptance. Will you ever grow tired of shuffling your feet? If you have something to ask me, ask. You know what? I don't really know much about your Zodiac god. Could you elaborate on him? As I told you before, Zodiac is the creation of my people, the first people. We summoned him, as your kind might summon a primal, albeit an infinitely more powerful one. And like one of your primals, he tempered us. It was only natural. There is no resisting such power. And so we Ascians came to exist solely to bring about the rule of darkness. His darkness. Of course, some would call us evil for it, and they would be fools. Though that is only to be expected given their inability to conceive of the nature of our universe. But I believe I am repeating myself. Do you not trust me to speak honestly? Do you hope to catch me in a lie? Really, I have no need of deception. And even if I did, I assure you, you would find it quite indistinguishable from the truth. How's that for a bit of lore? That's easily missable, yeah? They summoned Zodiark, and they were tempered by Zodiark. I'm sorry to be so insistent, but I know this is the only way. If you're willing to give me a chance, come with us. The Ascians are all tempered by Zodiark. Elidibus, Lahabrea, Emisok, Ego Rhythm, Nabriales, all of them tempered. This dude just starting. Go get him, buddy. Sorry for the wait. I'm ready now. You sure you want to do this? Like 150% completely sure. Look, no matter what happens to me, I'm sure that I don't want to go back to being who I was. I want to be stronger, strong enough to face my destiny, and I want to believe that I can play a part in saving this world. I hope you can find it in yourself to believe it too. When you put it that way, how could we not? It is your decision to make. Just be sure that you are prepared when the time comes. If all are assembled, shall we depart? We'll follow your lead. What route would you have us take? About that, there's something I neglected to mention. I saw your Moran airship coming into land over Amarang while I was on my way back to the Castarium. No doubt the same vessel that bore Valthry's forces to Rakpika. Meaning we can expect to encounter armed resistance on our journey through the region. Right. Now, Nabatharang lies in the southern reaches of Amarang, and there are two routes we can take to get there. The first is the eastern route, which would lead us past Mordsuk. The other is the western route, which will require us to pass through the Hills of Amber. Minfilia and I took the eastern route last time. Yes, that's the more well-trodden path. It also makes for easier traversal of the Nambareth Severance. But we can't use it. If we did, we need to cross the Severance from a point nearby the end of Journey's Head. If the Ormorans caught wind of our approach, we could very well bring them into contact with the inn and its patients, but we could be sure their activities would not meet with Valthry's approval. It will make the journey more arduous, but I believe it would be safer to take the western route, which brings me to a proposition. While you make for the Hills of Amber in the west, I will draw the Ormorans' attention elsewhere, to an area in the east that I know to be uninhabited. That way you'll have a chance at reaching Abatharang unopposed, and without risk to civilians. I cannot deny that is a sound plan, but nor can I allow you to go alone. My skills will make your task at least somewhat easier, will they not? I will accompany you as well. It will afford us a chance to have a proper conversation. And if I go with the others, I'm likely to say something Thancred will regret. Well then, we'll leave the work of distracting Vol3's forces to you. The rest of us will take the western route and try to avoid attracting attention. With that in mind, I think it's best that we follow the road from the bridges. We'll move faster with a solid path beneath our feet. We'll borrow a few Amaro for our own journey. I'll leave the rest to you, Minfilia. Thank you. I'll try not to disappoint. Sorry about flipping the mic up constantly. Damn, this music's still going. Didn't expect it to. There you are. The gate leading to Amaranthe is just up ahead. And all the time I've been here, I've never ventured into the Hills of Amber. Not that I'm particularly intimidated by new lands at this point, but we have more than enough reasons to be cautious as it is. Keep an eye on Minfilia for me, would you? Anything? Not so soon, Master Drac. You barely had time to recover from the battle. Will you seek passage to Amarang, my good man? Well, if you're certain, I'm hardly in a position to question you.
Take comfort in the bonds you share. Accept the pain when the time comes to part. Press on, for joy and sorrow walk hand in hand. Beyond Mount Garrick lie the Hills of Amber, beneath which run hidden veins of mineral wealth. Or ran, at least. Mayhap they are spent. Or mayhap the ringing of hammers can yet be heard below.
Before I speak with you, Minfilia, piss off, not frog. This place has been scarred by the flood too. Who can say what lies ahead? But whatever else this road may be, it is mine to travel, and I don't plan to take a moment of the time I spend upon it for granted. Take it you're seeing what I'm seeing. Finding a village when we're hardly 10 paces into the hills is a surprising stroke of luck, especially given our recent fortunes, but you won't hear any complaints from me. See if the folk who live here can tell us what to expect on the road ahead. I'll show you why I call these things frogs. Instead of jerking you to them, they come to you. And then do their body slam. Then also they have the exact same skeleton as frogs. You sell? No. No, you are no merchant. But then, why do I know your face? Oh, I remember. You spent Verba gold. Yeah, I did. Such a coin purse cracking. You're already a legend among more traders. You're a traveling merchant, then. Can you tell us anything of this village? Of course. Anything for valued customers. This place is Garik. Before the flood, it was home to many miners. After, not so many. Now, none. So Master Gengen borrowed the village, made it into a trading post. Very convenient location. In which case, you all must be familiar with the local roads, correct? We're on our way to Namatha Rang ourselves. If we continue south from here, will we have any difficulties reaching it? Oh yes, great difficulty. The flood rent the stone and crushed the mines surrounding Namatha Rang. Only steep cliffs and collapsed tunnels remain. Oh no. But surely there must be some way. Do you think any of the other Moen might have some sort of hidden route? Perhaps. You ask, they tell. Tell for free even, to friends of our best customer. Wonderful. Thank you for your help. Off she goes. Well then, best customer. Let's see what information your reputation buys us. Might as well take use of it. You wish to go to the Namatha Rang? There was a way once. A gondola down from the cliffs. But it was built for those who had left something behind that they wished to retrieve. Now there is nothing left, and no one to use it. You may search for it if you like, but I doubt that its rusted wires will bear your weight. Oh, there's a gondola. That guy's a repair guy. From Namatha Rang, our ship is best. Nothing is faster than our ship. Your Moens have one, I hear. You can ask them to take you. Yeah, about asking you more. That'll suffice. Not many bound for Namatha Rang these days. I do know a trolley that once went there. It used to travel between all the settlements and mines at the hills of Amber. It is locked behind a gate, however. I assume that will have kept it from being stolen or damaged, but it also prevents it from being of much use. Linkus. I'm afraid I've learned little of use about how to reach Namatha Rang. The Yomoran presence, though, that's another matter. Apparently, though the army is definitely in Amarang, there have been no sightings of your Morin at all in the Hills of Amber. Perhaps we can take that as a sign that Alizé's plan has borne fruit. Did you have any better luck finding us a route forward? Yeah, discovered a gondola, a trolley, and airships. So these are options. Well, what do you think? Try the gondola, might die, but eh. I have to. I'd rather not if it's all the same to you. If it went poorly, we couldn't simply wave our hands and vanish into the ether like Y'shtola. Not that I would recommend it, even if we could. Maybe somewhere else has an airship? We could perhaps use Amaro, but even from a distance, I can't imagine that the Omoran army wouldn't spot us if we were to travel by air. I guess, the trolley. It does seem to be the less risky of our options, and I can't imagine one gate is enough to thwart you. I'd like to know a bit more before we dash off in search of it, though. Perhaps Zunzun can offer some insight. Oh, value customers. Were the other mode of help? Yeah, you could say they were, to an extent. Of a fashion, they told us it's a trolley that runs to Nabatharang, at least. But am I correct in thinking that that there was a reason you did not do so yourself when first we asked? Yes. The gate, you see. It is impassable. Before, there was a hulking thing of stone, the Talos. It opened the gate, they say. But none operate such a thing now. I do not even know if it yet exists. I do not know, but could travel east to Mount Barren Mines. That is where the trolley patrols stand. I still see miners there from time to time. If anyone knows what's happened to Talos, it would be them. Thank you. You've been a great help. We're off to Mount Barren, then. Let's hope that someone will be there to answer our questions. Mayhap the pall of light is the root of this land's desolation. Mayhap the fault lies with man's, it is insatiable greed. Or it could just be a desert. The scale of the track is impressive, I'll give them that. Now we only need follow it until we come to the mines. Bit of a mess, isn't it? But the mechanisms for dispatching the trolley are here, just as Zunzun said. Unfortunately, anyone who might know how to use them is not. We might wait for Zunzun's mysterious miners to appear, or have a look around and see if we can reduce anything. One moment, Thancred. Sorry. See if we can deduce anything useful in her absence. I'm in favor of the latter. Something near the entrance to the mines proper caught Oriange's eye. Meet us there if you find anything. Wait, what? Fleeks of rust adorn the rails, but they nevertheless appear sturdy enough to bear the trolley without issue. I ain't risking you aggroing. Get up here. The benches within suggest that this must have been a passenger car. Oddly enough, though it is clearly old, it appears to be well maintained. Yeah, I guess. Decent amount of rust. Piss off, dog. This is why I'm a cat person. The cup is slightly warm, and a fair amount of tea, steeped over long, if the color is any indication, remains within. So someone's here. Ah, Lincus, what hast thou discerned? Someone's here. I see. Indeed, thine observations are consistent with mine own. But let us refrain from further discussion ere our comrades arrive. Ample evidence of recent maintenance, and lukewarm tea besides. The levers for switching tracks looked like they were in good condition, though I couldn't move them myself. No ordinary person could, I think. It is my belief that no person is meant to. This Talos beareth more than a passing resemblance to golems of the source. Nor doth it appear to be the sole example of its kind. The proliferation of Talos fragments, as well as the enormity of the mechanisms here, suggest a considerable number were once in operation. Alas, this specimen and its fellows now lie lifeless and broken, and I know not how to prepare them, that they might facilitate our passage through the gate. And without the aid of the Talos, even if thou wert somehow able to unbar the trolley's path, we would still have no means of propelling it. We might not know how to repair the Talos, but someone might. Otherwise, why keep everything else in working order? Whoever is maintaining the cars and rails must know something that we don't. Let's ask him though what it is, shall we? Lincus, I do believe you'll find a person of some interest skulking in the shadows behind the warehouses on the northwestern side of the tracks. While you two have a friendly chat, the rest of us will gently encourage those to the south to come out of hiding. Defend yourselves as necessary, of course, but do try to keep everyone in one piece. Off we go then. Weapons out, let's go. Just because Thanker is a gunbreaker doesn't mean he still knows how to be a rogue. Wicked White, where did you come from? No, never mind that. You have no business here, of that I'm sure. You asked for this. Are you guys done? Good to hear. These two weren't much trouble either. Let's see what they have to say for themselves. Us? We're not the brigands come to take what isn't ours. Do we honestly look like we need to steal, what, some rusted bits of iron? Don't be absurd. We're not here to rob you. A likely story. You look, well... You don't look normal, that's for certain. You don't have any wares, so you're clearly not merchants. Travelers never pass this way. The only reason you would come all the way out here is to strip the machinery for parts. Oh, fav. I have an idea. What if once upon a time... a lovely lady of noble birth ventured forth in search of her lost love, joined by her two most loyal servants, sworn to follow her to the world's end. On their journey, they met a sorcerer, as ancient as time itself. Moved by the lady's devotion, he offered to be their guide, and they turned up here somehow. I can only assume that you're being intentionally obtuse, but in the unlikely event that that's a serious conjecture, no. I suppose I am a bodyguard of a sort, but we have rather larger concerns than fairy tale romances. Though I would fain hear more of this ageless sorcerer and his heroic deeds. Ah, gods grant me strength. If I may, we're actually searching for a means by which to travel to the Rang. We were hoping that the trolley here might offer a solution. I realize that we haven't gotten off to the best of starts, but if you know anything about how we might get it working again... The trolley? The trolley! Should have led with that. We were always keen to discuss the trolley. We're both engineers in training. In fact, Jerk and Thaf, at your service. Technically, I'm a miner, and he does repair work. But our true passion is the trolley. We're working with a few other folks to get it up and running again. Before you ask, yes, it's true that there's little in need of transport these days. There's no reason to consign a miracle of mechanical innovation to dust. The mere sight of it traveling the track once again would make hearts sore, mark my words. You'll hear no argument for us. What progress have you made thus far? Not as much as we'd like, truth be told. Well, is there anything we could do to assist you? We could gather materials or help put pieces together. It's a sight more complicated than that, I'm afraid. If you spoke with Magnus, you'd understand. He's the only one with full knowledge of the trolley's operation. I suppose you could speak with him if you like. We'll introduce you. Very well. Our options are limited, and if this Magnus can explain whatever it is preventing the trolley from being restored, I'd like to hear it. Right. Looks like you'll be following us back to Twine then. Quest for a lost love. Perhaps that could have been me, had things been different. Oh, jeez. Dost thou seek the sorcerer's wisdom, young one? No. Come to think of it, Urianger always was fond of fairy tales. If you're ready, we can leave right now. Though, you haven't seen another fellow around here, have you? I thought he'd have come out by now. I may have whipped his ass. You think he'll be alright? That's, you know, I suppose we did force your hand a bit. I'll have a look just in case. You go on ahead, Thaf. Alright. Looks like it'll just be you lot and me then. Try not to let anything take a bite out of you on the way out of the railroad. I may have beat his ass and left him for dead. Man, that's smart. You have to thump me so hard. I'll be feeling that for the next fortnight at least. Not to be done about it now, though. I pointed your overeager companions in the right direction and they've gone on ahead, so we need to get moving. Normally we walk atop the tracks, but seeing as the young lady has a much shorter stride, it's more perilous a route than I'm comfortable suggesting. Wouldn't want anyone falling through the gaps. Of course the low road presents other dangers, but having been on the receiving end of your friend's blues, I'm not worried on that account. Not Rathalos. Not Rathalos. Wait a minute. I think I hear something. Oh, that's something, all right. Run! It's a dog. Sorry about that. I'll admit, I didn't expect this route to be quite so fraught with danger. We're nearly to Twine, though, so we should make it without further incident. This is it. Welcome to Twine. Original dwellings were built to house those laborers tasked with building the track. Over time, miners came to seek their fortunes, and that's what made the town grow to what you see before you today. But it was still the trolley that brought them here. As you've doubtless noticed, the track goes to the very heart of the town. It was the heart of the town back when the trolley still carried everyone home at the end of each hot day in the mines. Now there is no trolley, nor much work to be had in the mines, for that matter. The only residents that remain are destitute to delusional, and those were nowhere else to go, or so they say. I should give you some indication of what to expect when you meet Magnus. As I said, it will help you understand why we can't get the trolley running. Just don't expect too much aside from that. Yeah, that's encouraging, but I don't see why that we have much choice. Let's go and meet the man. That is a lot of bottles. What are you supposed to be? Never seen the three of you in my life. Or the four of you? Make it white. If you're going to bother me, at least have the damn courtesy to stand still. Methinks that this one is deep in his cups. You think? These are my guests, Magnus. We ran into them in the mines. They're looking for a way to reach Nabatharang, so they came to ask about the trolley, you see. What? There's nothing in Nabatharang. Not anymore. And especially not for frail little girls. Give it up. No! We must reach Nabatharang. I must! Brah! So you have your heart set on it. The world doesn't care. The place is a ruin, nothing more. And you're not getting there in the trolley. The thing doesn't run on hopes and dreams. We're not fools. It's necessity that drives us to the Nabatharang. If you insist that the trolley is not an option, at least tell us why. No. I'm sick of people asking me about the blasted thing. Leave me be. We'll speak outside. Okay, buddy. Piss off. Alright. Stumping ours. I sense there is more to this belligerent drunk and his tale. He only said that because he thinks I'm weak, and he's right. But I can't be. I won't be forever. There has to be some way. I must find it. I think there's a good break time for me. And I'm going to get up, grab some more water, stretch legs, all that good stuff. If you're out there watching, I implore all of you to do the same. And I will be back in a few minutes. Don't go anywhere. BRB. Alright, folks, we're back from break. Hope you folks are too. Well, maybe not quite back from break. Let me go redo my water real quick. Ow. Okay, it's probably something I should do at the start of my break. Fill the water and then put it in the freezer for like 3 or 4 minutes, let it get cold. And before I completely forget about the water bottle and it goes completely frozen. But that's a problem for future me. Oh, I'm sorry. I was stuck in my own head again. It's clear that Magnus has no intention of helping us, but perhaps we should ask the other residents. They may know something of the trolley. I'll take the north side of town. Let me know if you learn anything. Thancred, art thou truly content to stand witness to fate's course and take no part? This isn't a matter of fate, Urianger. It's about choice. And I've had years to decide where I stand. Minfilia has spent too long in chains already. I would not shackle her again by making my hopes known. It is for her to choose what shape her destiny will take. It is for me to stay silent, to protect her, teach her, and stand by her. That, at least, I can do for her. So be it. Come, let us make our own inquiries. Hello, jerk. Ah, there you are. I'll be pleased to know that I got our friend back home with no trouble. He's just fine. He's a bit shaken up is all. And yeah, what did Magnus have to say? I did have a faint hope that your need might prompt him to action were I interested not, but I suppose that was foolish of me. Yeah, Magnus told us to piss off, literally and figuratively. I'm sorry that we couldn't be of help, though. I could at least show you the trolley car we have here, if you like. You could give it a stroke or two. There's some very smooth wood. No, we're good. We're good. We're good. We're good. You mean to say you're not giving up, even knowing that Magnus is Magnus? I don't see much point in your being stubborn about it, though perhaps stubbornness is exactly what this situation calls for. Can't forge iron without an anvil, after all. I can't imagine that anything you try will work, but if you're certain, you can help me make preparations in the event that it does. To that end, take this toolbox. We're going to inspect the rails. I'll have a look along the tracks for anything that's in need of repair. You bring the tools, and be ready to hand them to me whenever I stop to work. You open the box, revealing the proud array of lovingly maintained tools within. Brilliant. Now, if you could hand me what I need as I work, that would be a help. In this case, well, this bolt is loose for one matter. We can't have that. I'll need to tighten it. Let's give him a cloth. You know what? There you go, buddy. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know. I could use this to wipe any excess oil clean to the bolt, but I don't think that will be unnecessary in this case. I'd like to move right to tightening the bolt, so please hand me the tool for that. You want to just cut it off? No, I'll give you the wrench. I know how to tool. Thank you. This one will do nicely. Now give me one moment and... There. I don't see any problems here, so let's continue along the track. Here's a rag. To be honest, if this was real life, that's about how useful I would be. I don't know anything about tools, so I'm a bit concerned about the slanted post. Would you ready the tools for me? Oh right, I'm supposed to open the toolbox. You set down the toolbox, the muscles of your arms enjoying profound relief, and open it once again. Why, they just strap it to the side of my horse? Quite handy to have around, you know? As to the lamp here, these aren't often necessary these days, but if we're going to do this, we might as well do it properly. And if by some miracle the night returns as it did in Lakeland, you know, it's a nice thought. Anyhow, a bit of this post seems as splintered. Whether its lamp is to be lit or not, we wouldn't want these little pieces of wood jabbing the next person who comes through here to do maintenance. I need to sand it down a bit. Just beat it back. Or just be like, nope, it's done, replace the whole thing. Yes, some wood files, perfect. Let me even this out. That should do it. Bring some varnish next time to finish the job. Haven't spotted any other problems, so we can move along now. Unless you'd like to take in a view of the tracks from here for a bit longer. It's breathtaking, I know. Winning has always been the primary vocation of folks in the Hills of Amber, you see. Well, after a certain point, they had dug up everything that could easily be reached and carried back by manpower alone. It was then that the Nabath Empire struck upon the idea of the Talos, which they had seen at work abroad. At great expense, the Nabath brought the Mistel engineers who specialized the Talos here to the hills. And when you know it, the mining industry picked right up again. Yeah. Oh, hold on. Cat's hawking something. Okay, sorry about that. Cat's fine. You just started hacking up something. Want to hover him over the trash can in case he puked. Because I don't want to clean it up. Alright. Twine itself sprung up around that time, as a matter of fact. It was named after entwining of tales, the fruitful cooperation between the native Ronso and the newly come Mistel. But that, like so much else, fell apart in the wake of the flood. The Mistel left, taking their knowledge with them. It was 15 years ago that the last of them, the folks from Dale's Stoneworks, took off for Yulmore, and now no one remains that can repair and operate the Talus. But there is no use in lamenting what can't be changed, and there's one more thing we need to do while we're out here, so we might as well get to it. Vultures occasionally make their nests on tracks, you see, and it falls to us to remove them when they do. The creatures are angry when disturbed, which is natural, but nevertheless a danger for anyone passing by. It's not my favorite task, to be honest with you. As you may have noticed, I'm not terribly suited to confrontation. As said, would you follow the tracks north and remove any nests you find for me? I'll keep an eye on things from here. Doing Gladys's work, killing birds, because they're evil. Thank you. That should be everything taken care of. In return for your help, I'll tell you a bit more about the trolley. Nothing that can get it started again, though. As I said, the only people who knew how to repair the Talus are long gone. When they left, life began to bleed out of the town. The trolley's tracks rusted, and its cars fell into disrepair. Now, I was born in Twine, raised there. My first word was trolley, damn it! And those were the worst years of my life. But then about 7 years passed. Magnus and his wife returned to us. Magnus is a real proper trolley engineer, and perhaps he would never have left in the first place if it hadn't been for his son. As you're well aware, Amarang is hardly the safest place. Magnus wanted his child to grow up away from its dangers. It didn't help in the end. The seniors got the boy. Not always the way. The child had always said that someday he wanted to see Magnus's trolley running again, so in his memory they returned to Twine. Started fixing those rusted rails and broken cars. It was going well for a time. Wicked white vultures? Are they back for revenge? Never mind, I don't want to find out. They do sound kind of pissed off, so I guess flee, even though I could probably just kill them. Nice work out there. And now you know the story of the trolley. Won't do you much good without the Talus, though. If there was even a single one that still functioned, things might be different, but, well, here we are. Not that it'll do you any good, but we do have a Talos we've been meaning to repair. I can show you if you'd like. It'd certainly be nice to hear something other than Magnus's griping for a change. It's over here. Truly a most vexing state of affairs. I thought mayhap a closer examination might yield something of value. I see. The means to build Talos stone by stone are lost to us, 'tis true. But here before us slumbers a most fine specimen. Indeed, were it not for a few minor failings, it would be in working condition. 'Twill likely require naught but a few modest repairs and a suffusion of ether. Well, if you think you could get that thing up and running, far be it from me to stop you. But what exactly do you reckon is the problem? I should stress that I have performed only the most courtesy of examinations, though such arcane constructs are not wholly unfamiliar to me. As I did suspect from the first, it is host to a network of veins through which ether floweth freely. Or so it would, were it not for several fractures which now impede said flow. How in the hells did you get all that from just a glance? I take it you've thought up a solution as well, then. To bridge these fissures requireth a material highly conductive to ether. Once in place, I believe it will be possible to restore the Talos to life. Might I prevail upon thee to acquire that which we require? Not far beyond the walls of Twine dwell a creature of living stone, the Debitage. Full sure am I that stone from such a being would prove most suitable to our needs. I can got you, buddy. Very good. I shall have Thancred and Mephilia attend me in the remaining preparations. I spied but 3 obstructions to the flow of ether in the Talos, and thus would I ask you to provide 3 stones of the Debitage. All else will be made ready upon thy return. Go out and kill 3 things. Broke their ankles. Alrighty, Uriashi. Got your 3 of thing. Thancred and Mephilia will return along with the remaining supplies we require. Didst thou succeed in procuring stone from the Debitage? I have 3 of thing. Fine specimens, one and all. You have my thanks. We need now but wait for Thancred and Mephilia's return. From end to end, the paths by which ether may flow through the Talos have been duly mended. They but require a sufficient endowment. It's not moving. Strange. The core refuses to stir. I fear the condition of this Talos is more dire than I previously surmised. As a heart driveth blood through a man's veins, so doth the core ether throughout this massive frame. What? Okay. I get the first part. So doth the core ether throughout this massive frame. What? I think a word is missing there. Failing its repair or replacement, the Talos cannot be restored. So it was the heart after all. Thou didst foresee this outcome? Oh, no, not exactly. We've never gotten this far in trying to repair it, so we had no way of knowing the heart was the real problem. We tried to find another, in case things turned out as they are now, but... Jarek? This isn't really my story to share. Please, Jarek, if something went wrong, maybe we can help. Alright. After all you lot have done for me, I suppose it's the least I can do. Right then, the Talos. The hearts cannot be made of just any stone. You need a special sort with sufficient ethereal conductivity. Both it and the other materials used in the construction of Talos bodies are mined in the same place. That place, of course, being here, the Hills of Amber. And it was 3 years ago when she... No, I can't, I'm sorry. But you have to hear from Thaf or someone else. Back to the tavern then. Still here, huh? You can ask again, but the answer's the same. Charlie's a... So what happened 3 years ago? That jerk won't even mention it? What? Oh, God damn it, jerk. You could have at least finished so I wouldn't have to clean up your mess. See how you made such quick progress in fixing a Talos and all. He was probably thinking you could help change things around here. And I think that he may be right. Gather your friends and I'll tell you what you want to know.
Magnus's wife was a miner, you know. Greatest prospector there ever was.
I was way off in this guy's voice.
When the golem hearts started failing, she was the first to head out in search of more. Problem was, most of the veins ran dry ages ago, and finding fresh ones to tap's only gotten harder. But she wasn't one to be deterred. She just kept digging deeper and deeper. And then the mine collapsed. We labored day and night to clear away the rubble, but it took us 2 months to find her. To find her body.
Oh, yeah. 2 months.
Magnus has never been the same since.
Where is he, if you don't mind my asking?
Ah, yes, well, if he's not here, there's only one other place he'd be.
The grave. The grave. How does it get this much booze shipped out here anyway? Oh wait, we already covered that. The more travelers.
What? Oh, you again. How many times must I tell you? The trolley won't run! We'd be better off dismantling the damn thing and selling the parts for scrap. Now, piss off back to wherever you came from. And don't let me catch you around here again.
What were their names?
My son was named Skuli. My wife, Agna. Being here with them, it beats going home. Home stopped being home when I lost them. I thought to try and drown my sorrows, but somehow the bottle's never deep enough.
I don't have personal experience with this, but from the stories I've heard from those that do, bottle never is.
No bottle is. Believe me, I know.
And he just said it.
You've lost someone too?
Not like you. Not my own flesh and blood. I grew up an orphan, so I never really knew what family meant. Not until I met a man who offered to take me in and make me his pupil. He was a kindly soul, always looking out for me, like a father. Not that I appreciated that at the time, or anything else for that matter. But I finally had a family. And then I robbed a young girl of hers. I did my best to make amends, to offer her comfort. But the more I look back on it, the more I realize just how inadequate my efforts were. I let her down. That is why I refuse to let her legacy die. In the end, all we can do is press on, for those we have lost, for those we can yet save. And that requires your Talos. Please, Magnus. You are our only hope of reaching Nabarth Areng.
What rubbish.
She's not gone. No matter what you say or believe, she's not. We can still bring her back.
Does this guy say anything? Not really. Full well do I know the pain of loss and how heavy it can weigh on one's heart. Nevertheless, for there is but one way forward. We must needs procure a new heart for the Talos. Thaf, knowest thou any location wherein we might find the stone we require? No matter how scant the possibility, we would seize it. Told you all the veins around here were tapped dry ages ago. Though I suppose, if you really wanted to try, you may find something at Nuvi's leavings. It was open well before the Talos became commonplace, which is why the mining unit there was never quite as deep. When you get there, look for Guthjohn and tell him I sent you. Don't be surprised if he tells you the same thing. Thine assistance is most appreciated. Linkus, I think it best Thancred joined thee in this search. Though he would be quick to deny it, his heart is in turmoil, and his thoughts clouded. 'Twould be unwise to ignore his distress. Where are you, Thancred? Up above. That's apparently a spot. Oh. Off to somewhere, are you? We gonna go mining. You wanna go? At last, a lead on the stone we need to power to Talos. I can't very well have you go on your own. Either way. Which we will do tomorrow. I think it's a good stopping place for the night. So, yeah, sorry about the awkward opening. I didn't think it would lead into the second of the 3 quests, and I honestly completely forgot about that second quest. So, yeah, I'm gonna have to read. So I'm gonna have to try to remember whenever I do 5.4, whenever I get done with 5.3, which should be in part 3 of New Game Plus. I need to go back, do that first bit, speed through it, and then get to the second quest. Because I believe the Shadow Walker reveal is 5.0, because that's like your big reward for doing all the role quests. And then you do that other bit in 5.3, and I honestly don't remember where the third quest was, with Trainer and as everybody calls him, Ukulele. Which Ukulele is an NPC that was prominent in the Warring Triad, which I never did. Big surprise. Well, I never did on stream. I've done it, I just haven't done it as far as New Game Plus, because, surprise, surprise, I didn't think it would be that big of a deal, but it is. I'm just all over the place. Anyway, folks, that's going to be it for me tonight. Whether you're watching live, whether you're watching a VOD, whether you're watching YouTube, same name as my Twitch channel, Link1429. I greatly do appreciate it. And if you're lurking in chat, don't be afraid to pop a follow. It helps me out a bunch. Really do appreciate it. Let's find someone to go. Well, there is one person that is streaming right now that I am sending you off to. Name is Brett Ultimus, primarily a D&D GM, but has also been going through the MSQ completely blind for his very first time in Shadowbringers. I honestly forget where he's at in the MSQ because it's been a minute, but right now he's at the tail end of the Final Fantasy 15 event. So we're going to go over there, we're going to go say hi, and do not spoil anything for him. Most streamers don't like spoilers. He hates spoilers. So don't do that. So we're going to send you off over there. As for me, I will be back tomorrow at around 5 o'clock, give or take. And we press on with New Game Plus. Alright, folks. Hope you have a good rest of your Monday/Tuesday, wherever you are in the world. And please stay safe out there, whatever it is you do. I will see you folks tomorrow, and have a good rest of your day. Have a good one.
Oh, active time maneuver. Here we go. We gotta press.